All right, good morning again, and now I'm going to talk about the final option for your final element paper. Now remember that each option increases in point value and difficulty. The first one is worth 50 points, and that's just a response to the 2 TED Talks. Option number 2 is worth 75, and that's an interview and then a paper. And then option number 3 will be 2 parts as well, but this is a little bit more daunting, so it's worth 100 points, and you'll get 5 bonus points added on to your lowest theme of fourth quarter, and that could include your final research paper. So that could be a significant amount of points added on to your final paper there. So what you'll do here is click on this, and this will take you to the assignment page. And again, this one's 2 parts. So the first part is going to call for you to look at one of these you're going to look at 3 of these 5 sources here. There's a podcast, 2 TED Talks, and 2 articles. You only need to choose 3. Once you've watched, read, whatever the 3, you're going to write one-page summaries on each one. And that's what it says here. For each of your 3 pieces, write a one-page summary. State 1 or 2 of the main ideas for each of these, and then focus on maybe how it relates to the element in one way, shape, or form. For example, there's a TED Talk by come on, our internet's lagging here. Yeah, this one's from Mike Rowe, and he talks about what he learned from dirty jobs. And one of the things he learned is actually not to follow your passion. He says that's a terrible idea. So if I'm going to summarize that, I would look at how and why he thinks it's a bad idea to follow your passion. And he argues that maybe your passions won't make you any money. Maybe you want to be a professional basketball player, but you're 3 feet tall. Good luck with that, right? And then he says when he looks at most of the people that he learned about on dirty jobs, they became successful and they found passion for their jobs because they did something nobody else was doing. And they became incredibly wealthy and prosperous through that. And because of that success and prosperity, they have jobs they love. So for each of your 3, you're going to summarize 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most main points. And I'll go back in just a little bit and look into a student example of that. Then in part 2, and this is a little more difficult, in 3 to 4 pages, including the works cited, you're going to synthesize, which means combine each piece with a main idea from the elements. So here's my example. So let's say I'm going to talk about how in those articles, some people say it's a bad idea to follow your passion. Well, I would connect that to one idea where Robinson talks about how schools fail kids and that they don't develop their passions, at least around things that are school related. So then I would talk about how we narrowly measure talent in schools. And then I'd focus on maybe Joe Yunlin or Bart Conner to talk about how that proves that school didn't do them justice, but yet, in spite of school, they went on to develop a passion and find their element and go on to have success. So this one is 2 parts as well, needs a works cited as well. So if you go here, you'll click on the student option, and here we go. And what they did, they took one of the TEDx talks from this kid called Logan LaPlante, who reimagines what school is, and Billy here summarizes it in 1 page. Then his second one is from the podcast Brian Buffini called The Immigrant Edge, and he summarizes it in another 1 page. And then the third one is a passion article that says forget passion, get a job, kids. And there the author, Gina Barica, argues that a job isn't supposed to make you passionate, it's supposed to keep you employed. And there they offer a summary of that. So that's part 1, 3 pages, 1 page summary of each. No works cited because you shouldn't really be taking direct quotes from that. We'll save that for part 2. So in part 2, of option number 3, again, Billy Walker. So The title is Synthesizing the Element, and they talk about each source that they use, and they connect it back to examples from the element. Now, I won't say this is perfect because I can already go see they have a direct quote that's not cited correctly here. So make sure you do that, and maybe I'll try to come back and fix that for them so you can have an example that works well. But we're looking at 3 to 4 pages in which you make sure you take each of those and connect it back to one main idea from the element. And then there's the works cited. Now, if you go back to this document and you click on the option again, because I'm trying to make this as stress-free as possible for you. Here, if you scroll down, because I'm an awesome guy, I already did all the work cited for you. For the podcast, I've cited it. TEDx, I've cited it. The TED Talk from Mike Rowe, and the articles I've cited. I even include at the bottom the works cited information from our book, The Element, but our computer is slow right there. So you don't need to do any of that. All you need to do is write your thoughts and then take these and paste them into your papers. Make sure that you have them cited correctly. Remember, in MLA format, only the first line, like here, is not indented. Everything after that is indented. So make sure you, however you copy and paste it, maybe your font or size is different, but make sure you readjust that so it looks properly, or it looks proper. Text me with questions, and I'll try to help you out. But I've done as much as I can to try to lay this out for you with examples and to make it as easy as possible. If you're stressed and you just want to get 50 quick points, then just do option number 1. If you really want to pad your stats, so to speak, and you want to challenge, go for option 3. Plus, remember, you get those 5 points added on to whatever your lowest theme score is, which could be a big draw for you. So these will be due April 8th at 3:01. Or this, you only choose one option, will be due 3:01 April 8th, and then no assignments over spring break. All right? Again, text me, email, call, whatever you need with questions. All right, thanks. Have a good break. See you guys.